All right, welcome into Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you for joining us here on this Friday. Not going to say it, the 13th, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Some people don't like that. I do. But guess what? It's the first one of the year, which means we have another one coming up, and that's going to be in December. All right, so bide your time, but this is the first one. All right, let's talk about these markets and see if we've got any Friday the 13th stuff going on in the markets. Let's start with corn. I did the radio show earlier today, and there's a lot of green on the screen. Now, I don't think we held on as much as we did when we did the radio show, but still, we'll take a 2-cent better board when it comes to D's. 408 and a quarter is last, but see, we were 5 and a quarter cents better, and that was kind of when I was sitting in the radio room early this morning. So 408 and a quarter, D's corn up 2 cents. We've got March up 1.5 cents to 426, and that's still 5 and a quarter cents off the high, and only 1.5 pennies off the low, just to give you an idea about what we're trading in that range. From corn, we move to beans. Chicago soybeans, well, they're down now, 5 cents lower. Ouch. That was a reversal. Look, we were up at 1021, and we were not quite that high during the radio show, but we were definitely positive on the day. Probably about another 10, 11 cents from here, about 1016, 1017. Right now we're at 1006, which is only 3 ticks off the low of the day. Now we just ticked lower again. I better shut up. We're half cent off the low of the day of 1005 and a quarter. And we're way off the highs by about 15 and a quarter cents. So let's move along from that board. Wheat in Chicago, what's going on there? Well, we still hung on to those gains. We're 7 3/4 cents better in that D's contract. This is Chicago wheat, 586 and a quarter is last there. Good news is we're 8 cents off the lows. Bad news is we're about 12 3/4 cents off the high. So we actually have come off the highs in that as well. March is up 6 3/4 cents. 604 and a half is now last. All right, let's move along from Chicago to Kansas City. The hard red's up 4 1/4 cents to 590 and a half, and folks, that's 14 cents off the high of the day. That's decent. Wow. And we're about 6 cents from the lows. So we've had a 20-cent range, and we're at the lower end of it. 3 3/4 cents better in the March right behind it to 603 and a half. All right, so that's what's happening in the hard red, Kansas City. Let's go to Minneapolis and take a look at the spring wheat. That's up 6 cents to 627 3/4. A full dime off the highs there as well, but still 8 cents off the lows. So I guess we could say we're in the middle of the range, but we definitely have given back some of the earlier work we've done as far as to the upside. That spring wheat in Minneapolis D's is at 627 and a quarter. The March is up to 648 even, and that's up 4 3/4 cents on its own. All right, cotton. Well, what do we got going on there? We're still above 70. We were above 70 for the radio show. We were higher on the day, but now we're not. We're lower by 24 ticks, and that's D. 70.14 is last, and that's on the low of the day. So there you go. All right, let's bring in our next guest analyst, Mr. Joe Lardy. He's up in Inver Grove Heights with CHS. It's Friday, so he gets to work from home. We're not sure if he always works from home, but today he's missing out on the big old, the lunch smorgasbord, the buffet that they have on Friday. So that's one of the things you sacrifice when you work from such a lovely house.
I know, you got to do it sometimes, don't you?
There you go. Yeah. All right, we got through the WASD. Are we going to be wishing our lives away here now, waiting for the next one, or are we going to start to really turn our sights on what's going through harvest?
I think we're going to be really focused on what the harvest reports are going to be, because when we went into the WASD report, the analysts were really split. Some thought higher, some thought lower, and frankly, the USDA gave us a whole lot of nothing, right? Not touching the wheat balance sheet at all, making very, very minimal changes to the bean balance sheet and not adjusting yields. And frankly, on the corn side of things, just giving us a little bit only on the old crop balance sheet was really giving us a whole lot of nothing. So I think the USDA is saying, hey, let's see what's going to happen with harvest, which is getting really active right now. And then we've got a really interesting next 30 days with lots of harvest. South America starting up, the September 30th stocks report, and then into the October WASD, which is setting up for a lot of changes.
I just got the feeling, Joe, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, but watching the reaction yesterday to a whole lot of nothing, which I thought I agree with you, is that, some of these market participants were saying, you know what? What's my risk reward now? Let me take some of this money off the table. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and when we look at some of these seasonal patterns, right? In corn, we always forge the lows sometime between September 1st and October 1st. So we're kind of right in that zone for this market to, at some point really soon, make a little bit move higher. The question is, do we see that starting kind of now, or is that harvest pressure going to delay a little bit of that rally higher, maybe until we get to the start of October?
All right. Well, we'll see. Only time will tell. Really appreciate you coming on.
Yep.
Joe, have a great
bet.
weekend. Joe Lardy coming to us from Invergrove Heights. He's with CHS up in Minnesota. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more livestock with me right after this.